Good morning, listeners of Hot Topic and Fresh News. Today, Monday, May 28, 2024, we're bringing you the latest and most pressing news stories. A devastating landslide in Papua New Guinea has put nearly 7,900 people at risk. Authorities now fear that about 2,000 individuals may have been buried following a mountainside collapse last Friday. This figure far surpasses the initial estimate by the United Nations, which cited about 670 victims. Rescue operations have tragically shifted to retrieval efforts, with only 6 bodies recovered so far amid challenging terrain and limited site access. The ongoing instability of the mountainside, with rocks and debris continuously shifting, adds to the grim challenges faced by local villagers and rescue teams. In response, Australia has committed to airlift supplies to assist the affected communities, while Prime Minister James Marape has dispatched national response teams to the region amidst his own political battles back home. This is a critical situation, and we will continue to keep you updated on any developments. Stay with us. Hello everyone, this is Emily, your guide to the day's most critical news stories.
And this is David, at your service.
You're tuned into Hot Topic and Fresh News. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with all the latest developments. Straight to the hot topics.
We're seeing a major crisis unfolding in Papua New Guinea with the ongoing landslide. Could you elaborate on the scale of this disaster?
Absolutely. Authorities are now stating that nearly 7,900 residents are at high risk as the landslide remains very active. The situation is dire, with about 2,000 people feared buried under the rubble from last Friday's mountainside collapse.
How are the local efforts coping with such a challenging situation?
The response is strained. Local villagers have been forced to use basic tools like shovels and sticks, and even their bare hands, to attempt to move massive rocks and rubble. The arrival of heavy machinery has been delayed, not just by logistical challenges but also due to cultural sensitivities about using such equipment near the bodies.
With the terrain continuously shifting, what are the primary concerns for the rescue teams right now?
The primary concern is safety. The ongoing movement of rocks and debris makes any operation perilous. There's a continuous risk of further landslides. Moreover, the depth of the rubble, which in some areas is up to 33 feet, complicates the recovery efforts further.
What about the health risks? I understand there are growing concerns regarding infections.
That's right. With bodies trapped under the rubble and beginning to decay, there's an imminent risk of infection and disease, which could exacerbate an already tragic situation. Authorities and health officials are extremely worried about the potential health crisis that could unfold.
How is the international community responding to this catastrophe?
There has been some international aid, with Australia stepping up to airlift supplies. However, the need for a coordinated global response is critical, especially with the challenges posed by the damaged infrastructure like blocked highways and a collapsed bridge, making the delivery of aid all the more difficult.
And politically, how is this affecting the local government?
Politically, it's a very sensitive time. Prime Minister James Marape is facing intense scrutiny and a pending no-confidence vote. How he handles this disaster could very well influence his political future significantly.
With the infrastructure severely damaged, like the highway and a key bridge, how are aid efforts being managed?
The logistical nightmares are profound. With the main highway blocked and a crucial bridge collapsed, it's hampered the efforts of humanitarian groups. However, Australia has stepped up, pledging an airlift of supplies, which is expected to arrive shortly. This should provide some relief in terms of food, water, and hygiene kits.
In the local community, how are they holding up under such stress?
It's a resilient community, but the strain is immense. Before the disaster, about 3,800 people lived in the village, and now, with over 150 homes flattened, the immediate need for shelter and basic necessities is critical. The emotional and physical toll of this catastrophe cannot be overstated.
With political tensions also at play, how is this disaster influencing the local government's stability?
Prime Minister James Marape is indeed in a precarious position. The disaster struck at a time when he's facing a potential no-confidence vote. His response to this crisis could sway public and parliamentary support significantly. He's already extended condolences and directed national response teams, but the effectiveness of these actions will be scrutinized in the coming days.
What should we expect in terms of international reaction to this ongoing crisis?
The international community's eyes are certainly on Papua New Guinea now. The extent of the disaster and the response needed might encourage more countries to offer aid. The UN and other agencies are already involved, but the scale of the disaster might necessitate a larger global response.
As we continue to monitor this tragic situation, what are the next steps for the rescue and recovery efforts?
The focus remains on recovery and ensuring the safety of the rescue teams amidst the unstable terrain. Long-term, the rebuilding of infrastructure and homes will be a daunting task. For now, it's about managing the immediate crisis and preparing for what will likely be a long road to recovery. Thanks for tuning into Hot Topic and Fresh News today. We delved deep into the crisis unfolding in Papua New Guinea, and it's been invaluable having your ears and attention. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our discussions. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share and comment below. Spread the word about our channel to anyone interested in staying on top of global events.
And hey, make sure you're here for our next broadcast. We promise to keep it interesting and informative, maybe even throw in a few surprises along the way. We're live every day, bringing you the latest and greatest from around the world.
We're deeply thankful for your continued support and enthusiasm. It really fuels our commitment to bringing you thorough and engaging news coverage.
Absolutely. And remember, whether you're catching up over coffee or discussing the day's events at the dinner table, keep us in your playlist for a lively conversation.
Stay in the loop, keep your eyes on the news, our channel's content will amuse.